right, welcome to another song title challenge. What we want to know in these minisodes is, how would you write this one? We get you inside the mind of a hit songwriter. I spring song titles that are presented by the community of the C.L.I.M.B to Brent live on the podcast. He has no idea what's about to come his way. And then we spend the first 15, 18 minutes trying to...
Something like that.
Yeah, cook up or craft up 4 to 5 different conceptual approaches for how to write the lyric. And why is this important, Brent? Like, what does this mimic?
Okay, so a couple things. This kind of mimics the first 20 minutes of a co-write. If somebody throws out, I really wanted to write this title, and you're like, okay, what could this be about? And you're bouncing stuff back and forth. You know, I have a title, I don't know what it's about. What could this be about? And you're trying to figure out what's the best angle to write this thing at, or if you even want to write it. And the other thing is to challenge you and to inspire you climbers out there that there may be more than one way to skin this cat. There may be more than one angle for each of your song titles that you're writing. Are you writing them from the most compelling angle that's going to help you get where you want to go? And so I want to, we hope to blow some minds. That's really the goal, is people go, oh my gosh, you can do all that with that title. I thought of one. And here y'all came up with 5 that are killer or something like that. Just to encourage you to keep digging deeper, because maybe your first idea is the best, but maybe not. So
yeah, and it's a muscle, right? So I hope that everybody kind of plays along as they listen to these mini-sodes, because then you just automatically default to the next song you're going to write. You're like, okay, hold on. First things first, song title challenge. Like I gotta, like, how can I, and you just get into that habit, and your songwriting is going to improve no matter what.
How can I riff on this for 10 minutes and then,
Exactly. So it's 100% your song. This is not a co-write in any way, shape, or form. This is just a fun, creative exercise, guys. If you have a song title that you want to send in, send it to info@daredevilproduction.com. Production is singular, as always, with no S. info@daredevilproduction.com. Put song title challenge in the subject line so it gets into the right folder. And then we just might cook it up on the air here. You never know. The only thing that you owe us, if we talk about your song title, what's that?
Invite us to the number 1 party.
That's right. The number 1 party.
Yeah.
That's right. All right. So are you ready?
No, but let's do it.
Okay. So this is from Climber, and somebody that has I've been able to actually spend some time with and become a good friend of mine, and somebody I'm really happy to get to know.
I'll try not to hold that against him. All right.
Mr. Bill Topper. And
Bill Topper. Yeah.
Bill Topper. And the song title is Tracks Through the Fog.
Interesting.
Tracks
Through the Fog. Here. Tracks Through the Fog. Well, that's an evocative kind of image. So I'm trying to see how I see tracks through the fog.
I'll tell you what I see. I see Leo DiCaprio, Revenant.
I've not seen that. I've not seen that. But I do see a woodscape, and I see like tracks in the mud or the snow disappearing in the fog, so you can't see where the tracks are going. They kind of fade out in the fog. And so that's what I see. I don't see a bear getting all friendly with DiCaprio or anything. I heard about that. Isn't the word I would use, but okay. Getting friendly. So there's a music business analogy in there.
There you go. That's right.
You poked a bear might poke you back. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, all right, Tracks Through the Fog. So, Bill, no, thank you for sending this in. I'm not sure what to do with this off the bat. Okay, so it feels like like kind of a life song. It feels like, we can only see so far ahead of us, right? Maybe I'm following these tracks through the fog. I don't know where they're heading. But thing is about fog, you might not. It's kind of like headlights, right? You can't. I said headlights, not headlights. Anyway, but you can, you can only see so far ahead of you in the dark with headlights. But you can make the whole trip that way. So even these, following tracks through the fog, you can't see where all they're going, but you're always close enough to see the ones just in front of you. And so you can make the rest of the trip that way. And so it feels like maybe faith, because I don't know what the future holds, but I'm following these tracks through the fog. And so then okay, whose tracks are these? Because it feels like somebody has gone on this journey before you, and you're following the clues they left behind. And it's a fog. Yes.
Okay. So
Rorschach. Yes.
So you know how I want to drive your truck, right?
Or which one? I want to drive your truck.
I want to drive your truck, or I drive your truck.
Okay. Yeah. The Lee Bryce. Yeah.
Sorry, Lee Bryce. Yeah. So something along that thing where it could be about like an older brother who went down like the wrong road, right, and died. And in this case, that guy, the older brother died in the military. But here, something like that, and you're learning the life lessons that he left behind.
Yeah, that's interesting.
To be a better person. It could be a real uplifting kind of very real, very gritty, but it can be positive, at the same time. Like,
Yeah, trying to figure out kind of what the fog would. I mean, you have the fog of war, but you have, because it's not clear what those. It's interesting, but I didn't think about, because I'm so busy talking about, like, when you said brother, I drive your truck, I think of, truck tracks or vehicle tracks. It's not just foot tracks. It could be vehicle tracks too.
Right. It could be empty bottles tracks. It could be needle tracks. It could be a ne'er-do-well, what if he's in prison or something, right? Like a bad life choices, tracks of bad life choices left behind. That the collateral damage from that.
It could be somebody coming back and trying to backtrack, through the fog, like the fog that they're in, not just because life is uncertain or whatever, but the fog of alcohol, drugs, or whatever. They're trying to come back out of the fog, because fog has a negative connotation. So it's either, I think of the unknown, or they're in a fog. They're just not all fully present. They're not all there. That's an interesting.
But how you say it. So, okay, how about the fog of a toxic relationship? Right. Or it could be the fog, and so you're coming out of it though, like, and it's through the fog, like they say, the only way out is through to addicts and stuff like that. But that's true of codependent relationships. That's true of life, right? Like you can't just sidestep some stuff, man. You're going to have to go through, take your lumps and learn and come out on the other side. What if the fog is like a death of a significant other?
Yeah. And I feel like the tracks, somebody's been there before, they've been through it. So it could be like, follow my tracks through the fog. You've gone through this thing. I've been there before.
There you go.
Lead you through.
Like a mentor, from a mentorship kind of perspective.
It could be something like that. Yeah. Or could you be talking about someone else that's been through something like that, and you're trying to follow their tracks through the fog, or somebody you looked up to. It could be, like your dad, or, we talked about The Revenant. I'm seeing you on the video here because we're doing this over Zoom, and I see this big, massive black shadow coming up behind you. It's your dog, I know, but in the video, it's hard to see. I'm like, he's about to get DiCaprio.
There's a bear behind you.
There's a bear. He heard you talking. Okay. Anyway, I just want to throw out like an idea. Something. Okay, you and your buddies are going away on a camping weekend, and you're following them through, the fields and stuff. And it's like first thing in the morning, you're getting out and you're following tracks through the fog because you can't even see them. You're just kind of following the tracks, or you're going up to the cabin kind of thing, and you're just following those old tracks through the fog. You can't even see where you're going. And while you're there, you're working through some crap, and I'm not sure what the tracks would be. Maybe it's your Bible, maybe it's your letters from loved ones, or just knowing that people have been there before. Your buddies are helping you, and you're following their tracks through the fog. It could be, hunting kind of thing, metaphor. You're tracking something down through the fog. You can't see where it is, but you're tracking it down. You're going to get it through the fog.
That could be spun positive, like, what are you hunting? Right.
It's running down a dream kind of thing. And, tracking it through the fog. I can't see where it is, but I'm on his tail. I'm going to get there. And those are all pretty, country. Cause I'm thinking if you're out in the country, you're leaving tracks, right? Unless there's train tracks. There's train tracks through the fog.
Yeah. I mean, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, what kind of, there's lots of different kinds of tracks,
Yeah.
This is you could do 15 different spins on this. Like, super interesting.
It is following tracks through the fog.
What if it's the road less traveled? What if it's like normally when I go into the fog, I follow these tracks. I'm going a different way now, right?
Yeah, it could be like some people are following the highway with the sun shining, and here I am following a set of tracks through the fog. The road less traveled. It's uncertain. It's not a highway. It's not marked and with signs and GPS and everything. I'm off the beaten path, and
doing your own thing.
Along. I'm not on the highway just going along. I'm off the beaten path. I'm way down in the woods following tracks through the fog.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's cool. Yeah. Let's see. Tracks through the fog. I mean, this is super specific, but going back to that, I'm going to that old hunting cabin or something like that, and you're following the tracks through the fog because it's foggy when you're getting there, and you can't really see where you're going. But you've been there before, but you just have to follow those old ruts, the tracks, and it's maybe where you and your dad used to go, and he's passed away, and you're dealing with that, and those things there that remind you of him and the advice he'd give you, and those are kind of his tracks through the fog to help you get through that or something like that. Could be kind of cool. Super specific though. Who's going to cut that? That's really specific. It's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, on that note, kind of like on a similar thing, like what if, how, again, sometimes when we lose people, they'll leave certain parts of, like, say, the house untouched, and so maybe if it's her, right? Like it's like, so something happened to her. She died. Maybe it was in, some way she died. And then, but you haven't changed anything in the bedroom. Like it's always been the same, and it's the same tracks through the fog. And now, maybe it's what she would be telling you, like, you know what, you got to move on. You got to find somebody new. You got to, and all these things, all these tracks through the fog used to lead me here, but now they lead me here.
Yeah.
Like something like that. Maybe.
Yeah, that could be cool. It's like those things that, those little, this is off the top of my head, obviously, but things that she left, which are like little things you can hang on to, like, this is dumb, but like motivational quotes, or she had, her keychain that just said "believe," on her keychain. You find that, and it's like, and you see or her Bible on the dresser, or these things that her favorite song would come on. That's like a positive kind of uplifting kind of song.
Her isms, whatever those are.
Those things, those clues that are like, the tracks I'm following through the fog, to not to lead me to her, but just lead me through the fog.
So it could be always the same sort of tracks. Like you could mention all those same specific things. And maybe like in the beginning, it was like, these are the things that were kind of keeping you in the fog, but then the meaning of them changed as you kind of come through the fog,
It could be, yeah. Or you just settle on, it's dark, but I find these things, and they're kind of they're going to help get me through, because they're little positive messages, and they mean so much more because they're coming from you, the things you left behind, what you believed. And that way it's kind of her tracks through the fog.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, that's cool. I like that. Yeah, because it's not taking the literal tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Let's see. So I think that's a good one. It reminds you a little bit of the "Can't Be Really Gone," the Tim McGraw thing. Not for the overall idea of the song, but the way they use those different things that she left. And it's a really good song. Let's see. What else? I think we got a couple good ones here.
How do you make it upbeat? How do you like? We got a lot of tear your flesh from bone stuff there. For sure.
A lot of really heavy stuff.
Well, let's get a cut. How do we get it?
Let's see. If you can just follow the tracks.
I got an idea.
Okay, yeah. What's your idea?
I got an idea. Okay, so I'm ripping off "Lonely Highway" right here, but but the concept is age old, right? But it's real for them. Like these guys are from like a small town in Florida, and they got a song called "Barn Burner," and very often people will get together, from the county, like maybe after one of their shows or something like that, and they go to this barn and they light a bonfire, and there's this huge freaking party out there, and it's off this road called Turner, and we're heading out on Turner, like it's this whole story. But why not where's the party? Just follow the tracks through the fog, and it could be like a huge Jason Aldean party thing.
Or even, the next morning, how are we getting home? Because that's more when it's foggy, right? Before the fog burns off, it'd be in the morning probably.
There you go. Yeah, can
Follow
you
the
hear
track.
Scooter? I'm sorry.
A little bit.
That's him drinking.
That's him drinking. Okay, I thought you were
Does
doing
this sound
getting
like it's
DiCaprio'd.
a clean drinker to you, Brent?
It sounds like you just have to put that bowl not next to anything and just leave a space. It's like you're at a Gallagher concert.
Yes, it's like
and he's smashing watermelons
at a Gallagher concert. And he goes back over and tries to like hug up on me or something. I'm like, no,
you just dripping all over you. Yeah,
it still goes. It still goes on. There he goes. Okay, take a break.
Okay. Thanks, Puddles. All right. Okay, so yeah, that could be like the following morning, right, where it's foggy and you're foggy too because you partied.
Yeah,
and you're like hungover, but you spent all night out of the thing. You spent all night out there, and so the boys went camping and hung out or whatever, the party in the field, and now you're sun's coming up, time to get home. Shoot, it's so foggy and we're foggy, and how the heck we get back home? Just follow the tracks through the fog, man.
Oh, there you go. That's cool.
And so the fog is literal, and then also like brain fog.
Yeah,
you partied hard, and so that could be a different take on the on the party thing. It's like the post-party thing. Could have a little different vibe to it.
Yeah.
That maybe some people can relate to, like, yeah, we were out all night and, it's foggy and so am I. Just follow the tracks through the fog, man. We've been here enough that the same way we came in is the way we got out. What?
This one is so fun. We're kind of like 25 different versions of this, but what if you did like a Pulp Fiction kind of a thing, right? So to your point, jumping off of what you just said, like it's in the morning, like there's like a cabin, there's loaded with people. They're all, but it's foggy. You're getting ready to leave. And as you're walking down the tracks through the fog, you're replaying everything that happened like the night before. Or what was the big movie that was like that, where they just kept remembering stuff that happened?
The Hangover.
The Hangover. Yeah. Like,
yeah.
Like you could do that. And it could be like with a girl that you just met and you're like, oh man, like,
what happened?
What and you're just like really falling for what it could be like really positive and really cool. And you're just trying to go back, and it gets back to, maybe she's playing with you, you're not sure. Like it could be that sitcom moment where like, did we
do something?
She's like not saying, just to mess with you.
And you're trying to figure it out. You're just trying to follow the tracks through the fog.
Yeah.
Figure out what happened. Yeah,
that could be cool.
That's funny.
I mean, that would make it fun, upbeat, super cool, like super cuttable.
Or even, and even if it doesn't involve the girl and stuff, kind of the hangover thing, just trying to figure out what happened, and you're waking up in the fog, and you're like, what happened out here? And you're seeing the clues, and you're like, why is John's sleeping bag and him in it tied to a tree?
And why are we here? Like, I don't remember coming here. Like,
we're gonna have to follow the tracks back out.
I've never heard a country song like that. Like, I don't think that concept's ever been done like that, where you just sort of have this crazy thing and you're
coming to out in the woods and you're like, boys, we burned a lot of stuff last night. Where the heck are we?
Yeah, what's going on? Yeah, and you just work your way back or something. And
we're in a clearing, but my brain ain't clearing.
That could be super cool, man.
Just follow the tracks through the fog, get back out, backtrack through the fog.
That could be cool.
Yeah, that'd be different. Yeah, I'm calling it. We should end there. It's been about almost 20 minutes, so I'm liking that. Bill, I hope we got you through the fog. We start off a little foggy.
If Bill wants to write this song with you, what can he do? Or if somebody wants to get in touch and do this privately with you and not want it to be broadcast on the podcast,
it's cool. I did one of these today. I did a coaching session with a climber. So, hello, climber. You know who you are. But just wanted to basically song title challenge some ideas for an hour. And
very cool.
Continue to be her ideas, but we just bounced them for an hour, like 3 or 4 different ideas, and did what we did here, except now she gets to go and take them to a writer's retreat, and if there are any of those that she likes, she gets to go write them.
Oh, that's cool. And she did that prior to a writer's retreat.
Yeah, she's like, hey, we got some people coming in town, and I just want to get some ideas ready. Like, so here's some titles I've been chewing on. What do you think? And so we just bounced stuff ideas. So she's like, okay, hopefully got a bunch of stuff. Hopefully it's going to be a good retreat for her. So
I never thought about that.
Prep them for writes and stuff.
That's genius.
So yeah, so it's fun. Prep. Yeah, exactly. So, we can prepare your song. We can repair your song. I do one-on-one coaching. We can do, private song title challenges. We can do, Q&A, pick my brain kind of thing. If you ever want to go pick my brain, here's your chance. Or, work on a song together. And you can get all the details. You can see my calendar and you can book an appointment at songwritingpro.com/coaching. So that's songwritingpro.com/coaching. And, it'd be fun. We can get online. We can go over the phone. Doesn't have to be in person. We rarely do those. So anywhere in the world.
There you go. All right, guys. Well, once again, if you have a song title, you want to send it in. And if you, what the best time to do that would be like before you go to a songwriting retreat. So you're bringing your A game to that, where you're going to make relationships with other songwriters and try to grow your circle. That's so smart, and like 10,000 different levels. Like, love that. But send your title in to us to do on the air at info@daredevilproduction.com. Production is singular. There is no S. Put song title challenge in the subject line, and it'll get into the right folder. And we just might go make this happen on the air again. Who knows how many different versions we'll come up with. This podcast exists because we want you to win. So keep on climbing.
And we'll see you at the top.